No man, man.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between our visitors and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway.
Let's go, baby. Let's
So
go.
here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback, Nick Foles.
Love his build, love his arm. Had a Pro Bowl season with the Philadelphia Eagles, looking to scale those heights once again.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
So many weapons on this offense, and we've seen them all season long score from any point on the field. But we all know playoff football comes down to playing smart. The game slows down, and it's harder to move it. So you've got to avoid penalties, avoid turnovers, and not let your emotions get the best of you.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Let's go.
The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
It's real easy to talk about Thomas Davis coming back from multiple knee injuries, but he wants his play on the field to be the story.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Foles. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Travis Benjamin deep for the Chargers. Fielded at the 20. That'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. So first and 10 now from the 30.
50 the mark. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. With that, let's check out how the Chargers line up on offense.
And what a tough environment to roll into. On the road, playing one of the better teams in the league, obviously, because this is the playoffs. So what do teams talk about? Bringing their own momentum, bringing their own energy on the road, because you know you won't get any from the home crowd.
Throwing again on second and 10. Rivers. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one good for 26 and a first down. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a first and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Rivers. Flush to his right. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Check me 90, 180. Check me out.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw is Rivers. He's got the first down inside the 10. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. So first and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
We're scoreless after one. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they come up now 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Throwing, Rivers. He'll buy some time right. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. The 3-yard touchdown pass as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. I think that's the dream start right there. The defense stands up on the opening drive, then they go right down the field and score.
It's a positive start for your offense and your defense. And when you're talking about playoff football, what a great way to get things going.
Everything is magnified and amped up a little bit more.
To put it mildly.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They come in as the 3 seed, and this will very likely the last home game of the season for them, even if they win this one. But while they wanted one of those top 2 spots, they're still in a pretty good position.
They are, and let's face it, any team that gets into the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned, they're in a good position because they're doing what the rest of the league wants. A lot of people are sitting at home watching them, but you made a good point. Everyone is vying for one of the top 2 spots. You get an opening, you get a week off, you have to play that opening week, and then you get a chance to collect yourself.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Melvin Ingram. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Foles. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
He can't. He's not going to get me.
Foles. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now back out comes the offense. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January, but there's 20 other teams who wouldn't mind being on that road.
You're exactly right about that. But your point about how daunting this is well taken, because it all depends on their mindset now. How do you break it down so that you're not looking at this whole big road and say to yourself, we've got no shot? You break it down to this game right now, win that one, then worry about the rest of them after that.
And that's exactly right, and the staff told us that. They've been focusing with the players on don't look ahead, but that's hard to do sometimes, is it not?
It is hard to do because the ultimate goal is to do what? Is to win a Super Bowl. So you have to look ahead a little bit, but you make sure you focus on the game at hand.
A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
Strip that ball.
First down, Charger.
Rivers now to throw on first down. And that's complete to Gates. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Antonio Gates, 28 yards. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now Benjamin. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's remind everyone what we have to look forward to in tomorrow's action in the AFC. We've got the 4-5 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns doing battle with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, in our game, it took a little while to get settled in, but we were in for a battle royale in this second half. And to call the action, let's go back to the guys who've been there all year, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Rivers going deep here for Allen. He's got him in. Complete. It's a gain of 34.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. It's a first down and more for Gordon. And finally taken down at the 15. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Stay there. 180. Tight left. Everyone's got four down.
From the red zone now, Rivers. Gates with a grab. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Rivers. And it's caught. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round, but I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
Badgley on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
23 yards on the play. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They come out here in the eye.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
First and goal, Melvin Gordon. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. One man in the backfield, that's Gordon, second and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. They were able to stop him at the line on first down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination. And they got it done on the second try.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. One quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On second and 11 now. Foles, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. The Jaguars on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And you know, both of us gave these guys a real shot coming in here, but I don't think anyone saw this on the road with this lead in the playoffs. They've looked good a lot of times this year. This is probably as good as they've looked.
Well, it's been a textbook game for them because what you talk about as a visiting team is putting the pressure on the home team. And what puts more pressure on a home team than to be behind the entire game? Because the home crowd's there really for a coronation. They expect to win. And when you're behind, it takes the crowd out of the game, and then the crowd gets a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little bit frustrated with the home team, and that gives you an extra advantage. So they've done it perfectly. Big lead, put everything back on the home team, and they're capitalizing on it.
And right now, that crowd, silent. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Not today. Watch the edge. Keep it skinny.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. He completes it to Henry. Room here to run. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Rivers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. To throw on 2nd and 6, Rivers. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Rivers to throw it. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith. Throwing here, Rivers. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Black 11! Here we go, here we go.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, one win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.